very warm welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. Really good to have you here on the show. Now, we have got a special treat for you. They're acknowledged as one of the best funk and soul groups of their generation. Oh yes, it's Shalamar time. Here's what happened when I spoke to Jeffrey Daniel from the group. Here we go. Jeffrey Daniel, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm fine, Hayley. How are you doing?
I'm very good indeed. It's an absolute honour to have you here with us on the Memory Lane 80s show. Now, we play out Shalamar songs a lot. We love it on the show, especially on a Saturday night. And we want to talk to you because obviously we know that you started in Soul Train in America and then you came over to the UK and presented it here. So how did Shalamar come about?
Okay, Shalamar came about as I was a dancer on the Soul Train television show, and I became one of the most prominent dancers on the show because of all of my antics I would do. I would do handstands on skateboards coming down the Soul Train line. I would drag.
Wow.
I would dance with a mannequin. Me and my dance partner Jody, we staged a fight, and they thought it was a real fight. But I would just do outlandish things on the TV show. And then I just had this perfect afro. And so I started getting noticed. So little did I know that the producer of the TV show, Don Cornelius, would start a record company, Soul Train Records.
Right.
So it all came about when they formed a Soul Train gang singing group, which I auditioned for, and I didn't make the cut, and I was devastated. But
No.
one of the members dropped out, and they put me in to replace him, but that was at their 12th hour. So Don called and said, Jeffrey, I'm not going to be bothered with this Soul Train gang anymore. It's not going to work. But I want to build another project around you. Because they liked my energy and this and that. And they asked me, did I know a girl who could sing and blah, 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 blah. And I had to teach Jody how to sing because Jody Watley had never sang before. Her mother is in the adult choir at our church, and I'm in the youth choir, and Jody always sat in the congregation. So she had it in her. She had just never tested it. She had never brought it out. And so we just had to bring it out of her, and there you have it. And so that's the real genesis of Shalamar. And the name came from our very first producer from Morocco. His name is Simone Susan. And he's the one who gave it the name Shalamar because he knew about the Shalamar Gardens in the Middle East. And there's a French perfume called Shalamar with an L-I.
Oh, I need that.
He took away the I and put an A there. So now we look at it as the French perfume is the fragrance of the flowers of the Shalamar Gardens. Well,
I love that.
Our Shalamar, we are the fragrance of the sound of R&B and funk and dance music.
Absolutely. Wow. Like I said, we love you guys on this show. I mean, you had great success. You sold over 25 million records worldwide. We're going to play out one of them now, A Night to Remember. It was number 5 in 1982. Here we go. Now, Jeffrey Daniel, you are the man that taught Michael Jackson to moonwalk. I can't believe this. But I mean, how did you learn to moonwalk?
Well, it came about as we were doing a succession of dances that came along over the years, over the decades, I would say. I started dancing on Soul Train in around 1975, but I've always been a dancer since I was a kid. So
yeah,
all the dancers would come along, you know, the monkey, the twine, the gator, the slauson, the penguin, the whatever. Then came locking, which changed my life. Don Campbell.
Yeah, I struggle with that.
That dance locking.
Oh.
Locking to the beat. So then the robot.
I'm trying, Jeffrey.
The robot. Then the electric boogaloos came along with the dance called boogalooing and popping. And there were the different, you know, the arm waves, that's part of it. The backslide, which is really the backslide. Of course, popping and that and ticking, tick, 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 tick.
Oh, I'm lost now.
Ticking. So there are many variations of the dance. As far locking, whacking, popping, there are many variations to the dance. So the backslide was one variant of the dance. I wanted to do it on stage with Shalamar. So I put those I really perfected it and cultivated it, and I put those long strides in it so I could just carry it across the whole stage. And that caught the attention of Michael Jackson.
Wow, just incredible. I mean, I trained in ballet, modern, tap, jazz.
Whoa.
So I just find, yeah, I did. And I'm very much like this, but I find it really hard. It's a certain style, isn't it? It's really tricky.
Well, in retrospect, I find ballet in that it is so disciplined and it is, oh my goodness. What do they call it? Point? You have to do point?
Yes, I used to do point work, yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, my feet are still really bad from it.
That's difficult. That's difficult. Much respect.
Oh, okay. I'll take that from Jeffrey Daniel. Brilliant. Your next song, I Can Make You Feel Good. Oh, this is a classic, isn't it, Jeffrey?
Yes, it is. And why it's such a classic for me is that they sent me over to the UK to appear on Top of the Pops for I Can Make You Feel Good. But when I arrived in the UK, it had slid down one notch on the chart. So if your song goes down that week, you can't appear on the show. So I'm all the way in the UK. I went to Top of the Pops. I couldn't go on. Patrice Rushen was there doing Forget Me Not. Jennifer Beals was there from the Flashdance movie doing the live interview. And I just watched the show. I'm walking around Kings Road in Piccadilly, and I'm hearing I Can Make You Feel Good coming from people's, speakers and stuff. And the song was there. So it reminded me of that time where I was walking around London and I couldn't go on the show, but something told me, there's something about this place. I really like this place. It's something magical. Enough, they brought me back again for the Night to Remember performance, and that's what did it. So I Can Make You Feel Good. That melody, the synth in the beginning of that, it takes me back to being in London, walking around. This guy that couldn't even get on Top of the Pops, but I was still loving the city anyway.
Yeah, we love London. Here it is, I Can Make You Feel Good, number 7 in 1982. Enjoy. Now, Jeffrey, we've got a question from one of our lovely viewers, Mark. Hello, Mark. He wants to know, in 1982, it was the first time anyone had ever seen anyone moonwalking on TV. He wants to know why weren't the rest of the band there and what was the story behind that?
Okay. All right, Mark. Thanks a lot, Mark. And I hope I can answer your question for you. First of all, Jody and Howard were Earth walkers. I was the only astronaut in the group, so I could do the moonwalk. No, okay. All right. What really happened was Jody happened to be pregnant at the time, so the group couldn't come collectively as a whole to perform on the show. Being that they sent me over before to go on to do I Can Make You Feel Good, and I couldn't get on, a couple of weeks later, they flew me back over by myself to perform A Night to Remember. I went into my hotel room, I got in front of the mirror, and I acted out the whole bit about getting myself together because I'm about to go out for the Night to Remember. And little did we know that performance was going to change the landscape of the dance scene across the Europe, and the rest is my story, history.
Yeah. It really is, but the response you got must have been incredible, right?
And wasn't even expecting that because I was doing what I was doing all along. I wasn't aware that they weren't getting soul trained, so they weren't watching the growth and the evolution of the dance. They just saw it there. And people didn't know if I had wheels on my shoes, if there was oil on the floor, was a rope pulling me.
Yeah, what was the secret?
Yeah, they couldn't work it out, yeah.
We can work it out. Just absolutely amazing. Well, we're going to play your next song, Dead Giveaway, number 8 in 1983. I like this one, Jeffrey. It's so upbeat, isn't it? I want to get out of my seat to this one.
Yeah, it's funky. And I'm playing the bass there. And that was our answer to the kind of synth new wave music that was coming from the UK to America.
Wow, brilliant stuff. Well, everyone on your feet at home, it's Saturday night. Here we go. Now, Jeffrey, we have got a Memory Lane 80s little quick-fire quiz for you because that's what we like to do on the show. Is that okay with you?
I'm fine. I'm all yours.
It's all ours. Okay, so here we go. Favourite song, it can be any song, from the 80s.
My favourite song from all of the 80s, which is incredible to think of, but I would like to come down to, and this may surprise people, my favorite songs might have to be Thomas Dolby's Blinded Me with Science.
Ooh, good choice. We like that. Best dance move of the 80s. Tricky.
The best dance move of the 80s. Now, that is so hard to think of because me and Michael Jackson kind of like kind of like owned that with the moonwalk and the backslide. So I would have to say the backslide and the moonwalk.
Yes, absolutely. Best nightclub in the 80s?
Oh, come on. I don't have to think twice. The WAG Club on Wardour Street near Chinatown in London off Shaftesbury Avenue. Everyone was there. Sade, George Michael, Pepsi Riley, Paul Weller. Oh, we were all there. That was a funky place to go and dance. It wasn't too over the top. It was just a nice,
Yeah.
comfortable gathering of us. It was the WAG Club.
That sounds like a good night out. A thing you wish you could bring back from the 80s?
I wish I could bring back 6-month travel visas.
Yes.
We used,
Yeah, that would be good.
we used to go travel and stay somewhere for 6 months. Now it's like a 3-month travel visa, and they kick you out. But I would say
Yeah.
travel visa.
Okay, we'll try and make that happen. And best thing a fan sent you from the 80s?
Ooh, the best thing a fan sent me. Okay, I would say they sent it, but it was something that I couldn't use. Because a fan sent me an air ticket to fly out to where they were to spend time with them. But being that I didn't know the person, that I didn't have any experience or prior, association,
Yeah.
it was a bit scary. So I kind of I had to decline.
Yeah.
Graceful.
Oh, wow, okay.
Thank you, but no thank you, but thank you.
God. Oh, that's a lovely thought. Now, your next song, The Real Thing, this was released in 2017. Great tune.
Thank you very much. And that's Shalamar's first studio recording in about 30 years. I don't want to sound too old for the young people, but we still have the integrity of the Shalamar sound, plus we have a kind of new feel to it, but we didn't get away from our harmonies and that soulfulness and that good thing of the Shalamar elements there. It's all there rolled into one.
Brilliant. Well, check it out. Like I said, we all love Shalamar on this show, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. We'll see you on the other side. Jeffrey, I want to talk to you about your latest single, Make Love Great Again. I just feel like it sends a really positive solution to recent events, doesn't it?
You hit the nail on the head. It's my offering of a solution. We can bicker about what's going on. We can talk about what's going on. But at the end of the day, we need solutions. And so in light of what's going on in the world, and I'm looking at, I have this wide peripheral, and I tend to look at things outside of the box, and I tend to see what's really going on and the impetus of why these things are happening. And it all goes back to lack of education. And I don't mean academic curriculum education, in a sense, some of that too, of course, but lack of education culturally of who we really are and what we really are. We weren't always black and white. We started off Europeans and Africans and Asian and that. And it was a system of, how can I say, it's a system of survival and the government that put things together that turned into racism because of the overtones of what they had to do in order to colonize, to enslave, and that became the racism. But when you look at people themselves, come on, look at the English. The English were the first to step up to abolish slavery. You see what I mean? And then look at what's happening in today's context. The Black Lives Matter and the anti-police killing thing, it's not just a black movement. Everyone is there together. So innately, people aren't prejudiced and hateful innately. It's something that the system kind of geared people toward. So we have to go back to see who we are. We have to go back to the world, back to each other. Let's go back to being human again. Let's start it again. We're on reset. We're on lockdown. And we have this opportunity to take time to work things.
Yeah.
And if you see some of my posts on YouTube where I'm giving some speeches about what's going on, and I'm engaging with people, and we're trying to find solutions to what's going on. And this song, Make Love Great Again. Donald Trump said, Make America Great Again. That's kind of self-serving because we're living in a global community. What, America should be great and England shouldn't and Haiti shouldn't and Africa shouldn't? I think we will all be great if we make love great again.
Well, it's just brilliant, and we're going to play that out on the show now. But Jeffrey Daniel, it has been such a pleasure. I really want to dance with you and do the moonwalk, but I won't show myself up. But thank you so much for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic.
Hayley, you are the greatest. I've been having a ball. I hate to see this end, so we got to do it again sometime, okay?
Absolutely. It's Jeffrey Daniel, everyone. Oh, we've now come to the end of the show, but thank you so much to you at home for tuning in. Your support is so appreciated. And remember, I do love hearing from you. Details are on the screen below. And also I want to say a huge thank you to the brilliant Jeffrey Daniel from Shalamar. How cool and brilliant is he? I'll keep practicing my moonwalk. Now, I will see you same time, same place on the show next week. Stay safe. I'm Hayley Palmer. I will see you then.